They laughed at his silence, until the results spoke. The scary part wasn't that he was failing. It was that nobody even noticed anymore. Not his friends, not his family, not even him. Days blurred together like dirty water running down a drain. Wake up, scroll, eat, delay everything important. Tell himself tomorrow would be different. Tomorrow became months, then years, and somewhere along the way, he stopped believing his own promises. Every night, he had the same conversation with himself. This isn't who I'm supposed to be. But every morning, he became that person again. He wasn't stupid. That's what made it worse. He knew exactly what he needed to do. Wake up earlier. Work harder. Stop wasting time. Stop escaping into comfort. Stop hiding behind motivation videos while doing nothing with his life. But knowing and doing are two different worlds. And he was trapped between them. The hardest prison isn't failure. It's potential. Because when you know you could be more, every lazy decision hurts twice. Every hour wasted feels personal. Every distraction becomes self-betrayal. And deep down, he felt himself disappearing. Slowly, quietly, like a fire dying in a room nobody enters anymore. He started avoiding mirrors. Not because he hated how he looked, because he hated what he was becoming. A man full of ideas, with no discipline. A man always talking about the future, while wasting the present. A man addicted to comfort. Comfort became his drug. Cheap dopamine, endless scrolling, mindless entertainment, fake productivity, temporary pleasure. Every distraction whispered the same lie. You still have time. But time was the one thing leaving him fast. One night, he sat alone in the dark. Phone light glowing on his face. Hours gone again. Nothing accomplished. The room was silent except for the sound of another video playing. Another clip. Another motivational speech. Another temporary spark. But this time, something felt different. Because suddenly, he saw himself clearly. Not the version he imagined in his head. The real version. The one living the same week over and over again. The one watching other people build the life he kept postponing. The one slowly becoming average through repetition. And for the first time in years, the truth hit hard enough to break him. Nobody was coming to save him. Not motivation. Not luck. Not inspiration. Not some magical future version of himself. If his life changed, it would only change because he changed. And that realization hurt, because it removed every excuse he had left. That night, he didn't post quotes. He didn't announce a comeback. He didn't tell people he was about to change, because deep down, he knew talking had become another addiction. So instead, he disappeared quietly. The next morning, nobody noticed he woke up earlier. Nobody saw him sit in silence while the world slept. Nobody saw him fighting the urge to grab his phone. Nobody saw him forcing himself to work when his mind begged for comfort. Nobody saw the war happening inside him. And that's the part people never understand. Transformation is ugly in the beginning. There's no music playing, no applause, no dramatic movie moment, just resistance, pain, doubt, and the daily decision to continue anyway. Some mornings he failed. Some nights he slipped back into old habits. There were days he questioned everything. Days he stared at the ceiling wondering if any of this effort even mattered. Because results didn't come quickly. That's another lie nobody talks about. First, discipline gives you nothing. No reward, no validation, no guarantee, just silence. And most people quit in that silence. But he stayed there, working, quietly. Weeks passed, then months. Still nobody noticed. His friends still saw the old version of him. The unsuccessful version. The distracted version. The guy who never finished anything. What they couldn't see was the internal shift happening beneath the surface. Because real change happens invisibly first. Before the body changes, the mind changes. Before success appears publicly, discipline is built privately. And every day he kept showing up. He was slowly becoming someone new. The loneliness was brutal. People celebrate your results, but almost nobody respects the process. Nobody claps for the early mornings. Nobody applauds the nights you keep working while exhausted. Nobody sees the battles you win inside your head. They only notice after the transformation is complete. And by then, they call it talent. They call it luck. They call it overnight success. Because they never saw the years of invisible effort underneath it. There were nights he wanted to quit. Nights comfort called his name again. Nights his old life looked easier. And honestly, it was easier. Discipline is heavy. Growth is uncomfortable. Becoming someone different requires killing parts of yourself. The lazy part, the distracted part, the weak excuses, the victim mindset. And that death doesn't happen once. It happens daily. But something inside him had changed now. He started respecting himself again. Not because he had achieved success yet, but because he finally kept promises to himself. And that changes a man. When your words start matching your actions, your confidence becomes real. Not loud confidence. Not social media confidence. Quiet confidence. The kind built alone. 1 year later, people suddenly noticed. They noticed the discipline, the focus, the results, the energy, the way he carried himself. Some people asked for his secrets. Others said he got lucky. A few acted inspired. But nobody saw the real story. Nobody saw the mornings he wanted to stay in bed. Nobody saw the nights he fought his own mind. Nobody saw the lonely process of rebuilding himself piece by piece. Nobody saw him working. And maybe that was the point, because the strongest transformations happen in silence. Away from attention, away from validation, away from applause, where a man finally decides he's tired of abandoning himself. In the end, the greatest reward wasn't the success. It wasn't the money, the recognition, the achievements. It was this: he could finally look in the mirror again, without disappointment, because he became the kind of person he once needed. And that changes everything. One day people will notice your results. But long before that day comes, you'll meet the version of yourself built in darkness. The version forged through discipline. The version created when nobody was watching. And when that day comes, you'll realize something powerful. Nobody saw you working, but every silent day mattered.